Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. I'm Clint Gatewood, the Channel Chief at SaaSMAX. It's great to be talking today about channels. I really can't go into all the in-depths of a channel program, an enablement program, and the whole pieces that go into that particular piece today. So today I'm going to cover some of the main topics, the main areas to make your channel program successful. So first off, I want to say, this is my obligatory slide. I just want you to remember that. So the CEO of our company said you have to do this first and build credibility. So here's my credibility sheet. But I just want you to remember this I have another reason why I want you to remember this slide in the past. But yes, I've been building partner networks and managing partner networks over 20 years. I've grown channels of over 6,000 active members. I've successfully exited some companies, so I've been, much like you, an entrepreneur over the last 10, 15 years. And I work with SaaS vendors and resellers on a daily basis, as does my team, in helping them all commoditize SaaS solutions together in the marketplace. So why should you care about reseller channels when you start to look at it? I once was talking to the CIO of Alcoa, and he said there's a couple reasons why a company outsources. They outsource to gain access to people and expertise that they don't necessarily need to have on their own staff. They outsource to gain capabilities, like technology capabilities and those types of pieces, and compute power that they really don't need to own that particular piece. And they outsource to gain access to real estate, data center space, office space, things that doesn't make sense for them to own. When you're looking at going through a channel and selling through a channel, it's kind of the same thing in what you're looking at. You're looking to increase your scale of your marketing, your sales. You're looking to reduce costs, staff expenditures, whatever goes in those types of pieces. You want to access their relationships for faster closes to sales and offload installation, integration, and support. I think it was Clayton was his name from Infusionsoft this morning. He had mentioned that he is a software developer. He doesn't want to get into all this stuff. He wants to focus on making his product the best product in the world in its class and making sure that he still gets his market share. He wants to focus on his core business while he's working through different channels to drive his success in sales. So you really have to take a look at and look at yourself and say, why do I want and what do I want my solution providers to do? What do I want my resellers to do? From there, you can really then start to build your channel program based upon what the capabilities those resellers have to be. They just want to do sales. Maybe I just have an affiliate. Maybe I just have a referral program. Do I want them to offload some of this other stuff and take on some of the installation, take on the support of the product? I need some real resellers or some wholesale resellers or maybe even white label resellers, depending on how it is I want to go to market. Because it's very important that your business model meets the business models of the partners that you're working with. If there's a mismatch there, you will have problems. So I just want to point out that you really got to understand why you're doing this. So the field of dreams myths are a tale. So a lot of partners, especially in the SaaS community, I talk to hundreds of SaaS vendors across the year. 3 to 4 different SaaS vendors every week that I'm talking to that are looking to get in the channel. And a lot of times they start to look at the channel because, well, the channel partner found them. So I'm out there, I'm doing my sales, and I'm getting some end clients. The next thing I know, a reseller calls me, or 2 resellers call me. And I started doing business with them. Oh, okay, well, I didn't think about that, but here's an agreement. Let's start working together. And you sell my product, and we'll do X, Y, and Z, and we'll kind of figure it out together. And they're selling. They made sales right away. But then they find, as they start to say, this is a great business model, I'm going to start recruiting channel. They've got to start recruiting them, and they're like, well, where are my sales? Aren't resellers supposed to be selling? I need to find more like the ones that came to me. There's 2 different types of resellers that you're going to have in your business. You're going to have the top ones, that they've come to you. They've come to find you. They came to you, and in the SaaS world, if you look at a lot of statistics out there, a lot of the resellers got into SaaS because their end clients pushed them there. So they're coming to you with the client all ready to go. They have want, they have need, they have vertical, they know about your product. So they come and they start talking to you, and it's pretty easy to get them moving. Then you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to go out and recruit a channel. Now you're pulling the market to you. And you're going out and bringing them in. It's a different world there. You've got to be able to convince them of working with you. I get partners, vendors on many occasions come back to me and say, Clint, we went out, we got these resellers together. Why aren't they making sales? Why aren't they doing their job? And my first question is, well, what are you doing to help them? And I get crickets. Okay, and they're like, I didn't have to help these other guys. Well, these guys came because they wanted to sell. So it's not, you just don't build something, throw it out there in the marketplace, and everyone starts showing up at your door and they want to resell your product. At some point, you have to go out and you have to get those resellers and you need to move them forward. Here's another one that I love, okay? The myth of, I got an amazing product, all I got to do is show a demo, and I'm going to start getting resellers. No, I'm sorry. And this is where I want to bring another slide in. This is what you need to know, and this is what the partners want to know. There's 3 things they care about when they talk to you. They don't care about who you are, where you came from, what you did. That's not what they care about when you first start talking to them. That first slide, I would never put into a reseller deck. I'm talking to a reseller. I'd get right into the business case with them. What is the target market? What verticals are you selling into? Why are the clients buying? What are the problems that you're solving for the client? And who's making the purchasing decisions? And what does that model look like? That's the first thing that they want to know. The second thing they want to know is, how do I make money? So they're in business like you are. I got to make money. How am I going to make money off your product? Now, in the SaaS world, in many cases, there's not a lot of money. Even if you gave them 50% of a $4 product, it's not that much money. Even if I got 500 users on that product, I'm making $1,000. I'm not going to put a lot of my time and effort into selling that particular product. What you have to show them, though, is the entirety of the business model of how they make money with your product. What other products can they sell with it? What are those companion products they can sell? What are the services they can put on top of it? What's the installation pieces they can do? What are the integration points? That's where the channel makes the majority of their money. When you get real resellers and you get real clients, real partners out there, not that the other ones aren't real, but I'm talking about the ones that will take your product to market, they'll sell your product, they'll install it, they'll offload a lot of those pieces for you. They make their money on all those other services. Show them that picture. Draw that out for them clearly. And show them at the end of that part a chart of, get 10 clients, this many users, you make this much money. And this is how it compounds over the years. So show them the entirety of that particular business model. Are you a good partner? Can they work with you? So now you're talking to resellers who make their living off these clients. This is their bread and butter. Their clients look at them, they are the trusted advisor for that client. That client's buying because they're bringing them to the table. And if they don't feel you're a good partner, they're not going to want to work with you, because they're not going to introduce you to their best relationships and their clients where they make their livelihood on a daily basis. It isn't going to work. So you've got to show them that you're a good partner. You can't just say that I'm a good partner. When you first start talking to a reseller, they are connoisseurs of reseller programs. They will tell out the gate in 30 seconds whether or not you're worth talking to. And you got one shot. When you're a good partner, when you have that first call with a new reseller, you're in an interview process. They're interviewing you for a job, just like you're interviewing them for a job. So they're going to try and find out, are you a good partner? Did your reps or did you follow up with them quickly on any questions that are unanswered? So if you couldn't answer something in a call, that's fine. Mr. Reseller, I don't know the answer to that. That's just really not where I'm at. I will get you that answer. Did you get that back to them effectively? Did you send them the documents afterwards? Through that whole entire process of you getting them recruited, you can say, well, I'm sorry, but my support's really good. Well, you didn't support me through the sales process very well. You didn't get back to me. They're not going to want to work with you. So you're in an interview. I see this all the time with partners that go out there and they give me a call back and tell me, hey, your partner didn't sign up with me. I said, well, let me go out and find out why. And I go out and I start talking to my partners and I come back and say, well, you talked to partner A, you were supposed to send him an agreement, he never got it to begin with. You didn't answer the questions that he had. Your presentation was poor up front. You didn't show, he doesn't understand how to make money. You've got to explain these types of pieces when you want to go out and start talking and recruiting a reseller channel, because they are interviewing you. And vice versa, you're actually interviewing them. Are they the right partner for you? You don't want to sign every reseller comes to the table. Do they have the right market? Do they have the right pieces? Are they responding to you well? Are they getting back to you? If they're not getting back to you, will they get back to the clients, especially if you start providing them some leads? The last thing they want is a demo. You call up and the first thing out of your mouth hey, I got a great product, this is what it does, I want to show you a demo. Click, you're done. They get, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit, they get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls a day from companies like you. I got an amazing product I want to sell. Can you have time for a demo? No, that doesn't work. These are the 3 things that they want to know. You have to know these things when you go to them. So know how to answer these questions for them and show them this. Click, I'm gone. I just lost the sale. 5 things a reseller wants up front. There's 5 must-have documents before you start talking to resellers. You should have these. A proper competitive analysis. This is not just key for talking to a solution provider. This is key to actually build your entire marketing, your value propositions, knowing where you stand in the market. You have to do a proper competitive analysis. I see companies all the time that either don't know how to do one or they don't know how to use one. I always see these value propositions. I'm the easiest. Hey, Mr. Reseller, I'm the easiest to install. He's laughing. Everyone tells him it's easy to install. I'm the best in my category. Well, why are you the best? This is the document. It'll show you. It'll allow you to build out your value propositions, and the solution provider is going to want to see it. So you have to provide the competitive analysis. Have that document. It's the most asked for document when you're talking to a new reseller. In fact, most of the calls I'm on, within 10 to 15 minutes, that's what gets asked. A reseller-focused slide deck. Can you present your product to them and explain those 3 things quickly and get to the point? It's not a 25-slide deck. It's not a 30-slide deck. 10 to 12 slides to cover those items and to cover them succinctly and to move that particular piece forward. A price list. It shows them how to make money. Provide them a price list. How much can you make? And also with that price list, not just how much they can make on your product, but what are the other things that they could add that you've described to them that's going to drive up those revenues and those sales over time. A channel partner agreement. Okay, this is not a 40-page document. It's not a 10-page document. In most channel partner programs, you can have a 2 to 3 page partner agreement that will cover what you need it to cover. There's a lot of different tricks, not tricks, but there's a lot of different ways of arranging this agreement, but you're going to put an undue stress, especially if you're working in the small to medium partners, you're putting undue stress on them to get partnered with you because now they got to go get a lawyer. They got to have their lawyer take a look at it. Then you've kind of lost your interest. You want something easy and simple that covers your needs and covers their needs, such as your pricing. Don't ever put your pricing in the main part of the agreement. Either put it in the appendix or direct them to a website where they can look at it. And you can basically say in there, buy the prevailing price list. And you give them the piece. So you don't need to have that all spelled out in there. So really look at your channel partner program, your partner agreement. But even if it is 10 or 15 pages, at least have it. That when he asks for it, boom, here it is. Here's my partner agreement. Some co-branded material. He's going to want to see something that he can see himself throwing his brand on there beside yours that addresses what the end client and why the end client wants to buy. I've worked with several SaaS vendors over the last several years, and I've worked with them and I've worked with their products because I thought they had a great product. It'd be just something that is absolutely groundbreaking in their space. And the first thing I tell them, I said, we need to build out your channel program. Well, no, I've got a couple of partners and I've got a couple of people helping me here and there to build this thing out. I just want to get to market, so introduce me to some partners. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take your money because I know it's not going to work. I need you to have I need you to have these items. Well, we got them in work and we got another channel consultant over here doing it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Give me your money. You're going to insist on it. I'll take your money. And I'll start introducing you. So then I go out and I start introducing them to partners. Very first partner, put in a great partner, perfect for this, absolutely perfect for this product. In fact, he's looking at one of their competitors. I put him in there. Within 5 minutes, he asks, where's your competitive analysis? Do you have a competitive analysis? Yeah, it's almost done. Okay. We go on another 5 minutes. Do you have a partner agreement? Well, we really got to see how much volume we're going to do. We got, and we can work this out. And then it's, do you have a partner list? A price list. Well, yeah, we do. But again, we got to really look at it. It's on scale, and we're going to look at your raw volume to do, and we're going to provide you this, but we can get something out to you. The reseller never talked to him again. That was the end of the call, right there. He's like, you're not ready to talk to me. I put him in a call with another one. Right out the gate. Do you have a partner agreement? Oh, where's your competitive analysis? I ran them through 4 or 5 partners like that over the course of a month. And they're like, well, these guys aren't getting back to me. And I said, I know they're not getting back to you. I told you this was going to happen. And they said, okay, well, can we start channel consulting? I'm like, of course we can. Walk them through the channel consulting, get all this stuff for them, and now the resellers are just click, 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 they're coming through. Because they can explain this stuff very quickly, very easily, get it down to them to where they're working with it. Don't underestimate the need to have these types of documents and to talk to resellers. This has happened to me 3 or 4 times over the last just year, where we've had to go, okay, I love your product, so I am going to take you with a caveat. So I don't really want to take your money, but I'm going to take it. But we're going to have a conversation in 3 months about why you need to go back and do this now and give me some more money. So the reseller is not a thing that you just go and tip your toes in because you got a couple of resellers that came to you. You take the splash, build out your program. Make sure you have a good program, and these are some of the essentials that you need to have. The 90-day clock. Okay, it comes down to building your channel program out and making sure you're prepared as well. So you've got the first part. You've got them all set up. You got the reseller signing up. They're coming in to talk to you. You've got them signed up. And still, hey, they haven't sold anything. And again, my question to the vendor is, well, what have you done to help them? What have you given them to help them sell? You do need to help them. In most cases, when you sign a new reseller, the clock starts ticking on the day that he sends you that signed agreement and that it's executed. What are you going to do with him over the next 90 days to make sure that there's money put in his pocket? It is incumbent upon you. You can't just sit there. I get complaints from partners all the time. They're like, oh, you know, one of the problems I have with a lot of vendors is I get signed up. I wasn't sure, maybe I should have signed up with them, but I signed up with them. The next call I got the next week was from their sales vice president, asked me how many seats I'm going to sell. Well, they haven't done anything to help me out. I haven't got sales training. I haven't got to try out the product. I haven't got to work on these things. So no, they don't just sell. They do need some help. Remember, if you're working with really, really, really good resellers, they've got other products they're selling. They've got their own services that they're selling. They're busy people. You have to capture that mind share. And a 90-day marketing plan, which we call partner channel enablement, is key in doing that. It's not only to help them sell, but it's geared towards getting them mind share with you in front of your product and you helping them do a couple marketing campaigns to bring them in. It builds rapport. It shows that you care about their company and that you want to move forward with them. So again, it can be simple stuff. It doesn't have to be an expensive enablement partner program, but you have to have something there, something you can provide them, and then you set that meeting up with them. So whenever you have a channel manager, you got to make sure that, hey, you're calling them up. Okay, you got signed up. That's great. We got you onboarded. Everything's going really well. And let's have a meeting next week, and we're going to set up our marketing program. We're going to set up the next 90 days of what we're going to work on. So you get that scheduled. Now what happens is you got to make sure your salespeople have the one killer question in their repertoire that they ask the reseller next. Do you have your calendar in front of you? Get it scheduled. Never leave a meeting without getting the next meeting scheduled with them or you've lost them. And put this program together. So really, I could talk a lot more about the different things in building a channel program. And I know I'm a little bit done earlier with them, so I can go on to questions and talk about it. But remember, channels are a relationship-driven business. They are going to do business with people they like, and you've got to be in front of them. You've got to have that face out in front of them that they can talk to at any one point in time. So I'll take questions right now. So a competitive analysis, what I've seen a lot of companies do is they sit down and they write down everything that they do. Here's everything that my product does. Then they go out and they relate that, they go out to all their competitors and they see if those competitors have those features. And that's what they compare themselves against. So really what they're doing is they're just doing a comparison to their competition. They're not doing a competitive analysis. When you want to do a competitive analysis, find the top 3, 4, or 5 companies that you're doing business against, that you're competing in the marketplace. Somebody goes out to their website, gets their competitive analysis. You actually need to call them and talk to them and find out everything that your competitor does. Each one of those competitors. You take your time, you go through, you list down every feature, every function, everything that company does. Then you do the next one, and you do the next one in a spreadsheet. Once you complete those, then you compare yourself to, then you put all your features down, and you can really see where you stack up and where you don't. If you don't do it that way, you're going to miss things. You're going to overlook it. So here's all my list of stuff here, A through C, and I go over here and I do, then I compare, do they have A? Do they have C? Do they have D? That's what you end up looking for. Instead of going to the competitors' websites or their collateral or calling and talking to their salespeople and getting questions on what they're actually pitching and how they're pitching it. You get what they do, and then you compare yourself to the market. Then you can lay yourself out a nice, beautiful competitive analysis, and you can see where you're strong compared to them. You basically break those up into major areas within your industry, within your category of, say, installation, support, security, whatever it happens to be in your categories, and compare yourself to your competition. See where you are the strongest. What areas within your category are you the absolute strongest? Am I the most secure? But when you take that, then you can look at that competitive analysis intelligently and say, hey, I didn't know it, but I got the best support hours, I've got the best support techs, so I got the greatest support in the industry. And that's maybe value prop number one. Value prop number two is, I have the most comprehensive product when it comes to user management. And these are the points why. And then you build your, what we call your top 3 to 4, in the racing terms, pole positions. Then those pole positions and those pieces of what should be on your website, they should be in all your marketing collateral. When you do a presentation to a partner or anyone else, boom, 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 point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, plus you've got all the backup on it. You can prove it. Saying you're the easiest to install, even if it's true, that's not a value proposition. That's not a value proposition for you. And one of the other ways, I can go look at most people's websites and tell whether they've done one or don't know how to use one. I mean, if your website says I'm the easiest to install, I'm the best at this, that just general stuff, you're really not you're not making yourself unique. Does that help?
Yeah. What does that exactly look like? Is it like a comparison grid, like a one-pager, like how
Yeah, I don't have a sample here, but the way I like to do them is where I call it sanguinating the competition, is the public-facing one that you do. Yes, you take off the stuff that you're short on. So you're all blue on one column over here. So it's a spreadsheet that you show, a chart, and you put the categories in here. You're all blue on this line, and then everywhere that your competition, where your competition has the same thing you do, you keep them in blue, but you start putting them in red. And then very quickly, when you show the competitive analysis, you don't even have to go through every step. It's like, look, I'm completely blue here. Look, I am the best. All these other people are red. They're bleeding. They don't have what I have. It's very quick from the eye to say, red's bad, right? Red's bad. Red's bad. Here I am. I am the best product. And most times you won't even get questioned. Is that? Other questions? Yes, sir.
I like
I think they want to get you on audio. We got our runner coming here.
He's quick too.
He is. He's real fast.
I like the 5 must-have documents approach. It's a good way of thinking about it if you're going to try to templatize this type of an effort. And generally speaking, that can work. Where I wonder how you'd approach the conversation is if you're going to a reseller or a prospective reseller who's already working with a competitor of yours, and they're only going to work with you, or they're only going to work with one particular ISV in that particular space. It's the same conversation when you're trying to recruit them from a competitor to you, because in that case, like, they already have a reseller agreement in place with that ISV. They've already seen their prices, so I get the fact they want to see your prices, but I guess is it a slightly different dynamic when you're trying to pull somebody away from a competitor as opposed to a net new recruit?
It's no different. You give them the same presentation. If you've done your competitive analysis and you're strong against that product and you can show them those differences and you can prove those differences, now they're going to know. That's why the competitive analysis has to be right. Whenever I'm helping a vendor go and get channel, the first place I tell them to do is go recruit your competition. Like, why would I do that? I said, there's a lot of reasons why you do it. First off, you put them on a back footing so they can't react to what you're doing. So now you're putting your competition in having to protect their partners. So you're making them back off where they can't react to what you're doing. They can't be proactively back out against you. Two, those partners are already selling a product like yours. They have domain knowledge, they have expertise in selling it, they got client base, and they know how to sell it. So the time to get them to speed and get them to market and what you have to do to get them to understand what's going on is significantly reduced. You know, I'm all about what I call partner sustainable revenue. At what point can I get each partner to where I can predict their revenue on a monthly basis? And that's partner sustainable revenue. And those guys will get there faster. So if you've done your competitive analysis correctly and you know that you're better than them, you won't have any problems. You just go through the same things. And after you've had 1 or 2 conversations with their partners, your competitors' partners, and you've shown them that, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I get it. I got another partner that we do that with on compliance, on a compliance product in one of the areas of compliance. And we got a couple of competitors' partners on with this company, and this company went through what they wanted very succinctly, like, oh my God, this is so much better than what I was doing. I don't know why I didn't talk to you when you tried to call me.
What about the commodity, though? What if there really aren't any differences between your product and theirs? I sell domains.
Yeah.
I can tell you one of the things to do is, do you know what your competitors are offering their partners? Can you compete? Can you compete on the channel partner program then? If everything's exactly the same, can you pay more commission? Can you give better incentives, right? So that's another piece of your competitive analysis.
Or are you bringing them more business? You know, what are you doing to support them? Do you have a better support? Are you going to help bring clients to them? You know, the best enablement program ever is to bring a client to them. A lot of SaaS companies I've seen, you know, you sell direct. You start out selling direct, and you need to go out and sell direct first. I don't care what I tell you. You just don't jump into the channel. You can if you got a really disruptive product. But in most cases, when you first bring your product out, you're out selling it yourself, and you need to do that. You need to understand why the client's buying your product, what the price points of support in the marketplace. You need to know how to sell it yourself before you bring on a channel partner. When you bring a channel partner on, you're hiring a salesperson. Treat them as such. What do you do when you bring a new salesperson on? Well, you got to onboard them, you got to train them, you got to do all those types of things with them, right? When do you really suspect that they'll get productive? About 6 months. 12 months before they get to a sustainable, 9 to 12 months before they get sustainable, that you can really see what their run rate's going to be. Channel partners are no different. 3 months to 4 months to recruit them, another 3 months to get them enabled, then you start seeing a few sales, they get really productive in 12 months. Anything you can do to collapse that front end. You start to get sustainable revenue with each one of your partners at 12 to 14 to 16 months. It's the same thing with your salespeople. It's no different. So don't treat them any differently from that. Provide them the same products, the same training, and the same materials.
Clint, I think we're at the end of your time period. Sorry.
Okay, very good.
All right, let's give a hand to
I'll
Clint
catch up with you,
Gatewood.
Ty.